Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. This is Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. I am Trudy Leong, Administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. And we have with us a very, very special guest, Rose Mallett. She is an actress, a singer, and a songwriter. Hello, Rose. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to our city.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so excited about being here. It's been 2004 since I was here
So
last.
let's talk about your roots in the city of Chicago and where
Yes.
you are now. First, where are you now?
So right now I am where I was born and all that kind of thing.
Where are you now?
Oh, I live in Palm Springs, California.
Okay, and now where you were born and all that.
Yes. So now I was born. Can I give the year and date and all
Yes,
that?
you can.
Okay, because I'm so proud of it. I was born here in Chicago at Cook County, and on August the 3rd, 1947, weighing 2 pounds and 7 ounces.
So you were preemie then.
Preemie, I was born in 7 months' time.
Yeah, at that time, the
Technology.
medical was not as advanced as now.
Technology was not as sophisticated as it is now, and so I'm a miracle. I'm still
You
here.
have a very you have a miracle voice. It's such a range.
Thank
and
you.
you mentioned that you were prompted to sing when you were in the 4th grade.
Yes, so music came to my life in the 4th grade. My elementary school which was Lawson Elementary School. It was starting its very first chorus, and my English teacher, Mrs. Snow White.
Snow White.
Can you imagine? Her name was Mrs. Snow White, and she suggested that I audition for the first chorus, and I did, and it was accepted. And that's how it all started.
And so Lawson was in Chicago then.
Yes, indeed. Yes, yes.
Do you still remember what neighborhood it was?
It was on the west side.
West
It wasn't very far from the Sears Tower at that time, and if I may say the street Holman and Roosevelt.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, so there was the first choir. So at that time, because since you have such a range, what was your voice? Were you a soprano, alto?
I have no idea. They said, "Can you sing?" I think the part that they gave me to sing at that time was it had to be either alto or soprano. Yes.
And so that was in school, right?
That was in school, yes.
And then you also joined the church choir too. And how old were you when you did that?
I was 16. I was in my 5th, and by that time I had relocated to Los Angeles. Yeah, so my mother and I relocated from Chicago to Los Angeles in 1960 when I was 12 years old, actually. And then from there, middle school, I started in the choir, and I should say in the chorus.
Wow.
So is that where you got started? You didn't get started in Chicago. You got started in Los Angeles.
Basically, yes, in terms of professionally, yes, that's true. I started singing in middle school, and while I was in middle school, I met a friend who had 2 sisters, and they liked to sing a lot. And so we started singing at school events, and this friend had neighbors. They were very famous R&B singers, Sam and Dave. And they said, well, why don't you guys go down to Capitol Records and do a demo? We did. In the studio on that day was Lou Rawls, Martha Reeves, and the Vandellas. And they said, well, you guys are really good. You ought to, sing professionally. I was the lead vocalist, and they offered us a contract.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Is that how that works?
Well, then it did, for sure. And so my friend took this information to her mother, and she was fine. And then they took it to my mother, and she took it to another source, and that source said, well, I'm sorry, you have to sing for, another situation that we don't want to talk about. But anyway, I was not permitted to sing for this contract.
Okay.
My mother said no, and that's kind of put an X to my ambition at that time.
Were you disappointed?
I was, but in hindsight, I must say, here at my age now, I recognize that I was so young, so naive, that I think that the industry probably would have done my spirit damage. I probably could have fallen into drugs, who knows, whatever. But, like I said, in hindsight, now I'm perfectly okay with not doing it then.
The music industry, we hear all of these horror stories about everybody, getting screwed over or
Yes.
paying for the rest of their lives, taking out loans and not getting their percentage or their points back.
Correct.
A lot of musicians and recording artists commit suicide. A lot of them get heavy into drugs,
Yes.
including alcohol.
Right.
A lot of things are going on with that whole scene.
Right.
You avoided it then. Did you avoid all of that yourself throughout your whole career?
I have. Thank goodness I had a very good mother who provided me with great morals and conviction about who I should be and how I should present myself and how I should honor the family image. My mother she was a stellar woman. At age 15, she left the South, coming to not California, but Chicago, and she started her own. She did laundry to make a living. She was a seamstress to make a living, and so she instilled in me. You've got to what do you call it? You've got to go forward with your dreams and not allow the influence of negativity, into your life. So that's. I'm very, very honored and proud of that. My mother really instilled that into me.
So speaking of building dreams, which is one of the main song on your album.
Yes.
The 2 albums. That song's on 2 albums, right? Correct?
Correct.
I know that I'll get there someday, somehow, somewhere, some way.
That's exactly right.
Are you there?
I am. I never knew what life would bring me. I didn't think at that time I was seeking a career, but I must tell you that the inspiration from within. Who's driving the train? I know once we had a conversation, you and I. You asked me, are you a passenger on the train or are you driving the train? I love that question. I think I'm both because I don't know where the inspiration comes from, but I just keep moving forward. Yes. And so I have arrived at my dream, I believe. And still working on it.
And so the more recent, it was building dreams, and then there's dreams realized.
Correct.
And so you're there.
That's exactly right. But I'm working on a new project. I haven't given it a title yet, but I may entitle it Life Realized. I'm not sure yet. But yes, and I'm working on that right now, and so I'm looking forward to going into the studio with that in August. And I've gotten some wonderful musicians, some who were also on the previous CDs. And I'm looking forward to even being more outstanding. We'll see.
Looking forward to it.
You are a songwriter too. So which of your songs did you write?
Building Dreams.
Oh.
Building Dreams was mine.
I love your version of The Snake.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
thank you.
So beautiful.
Oscar Brown Jr. Oscar Brown Jr. wrote that song. I got a chance to meet Mr. Don't even know if to call it Mr. Oscar Brown Jr. I got a chance to meet him. He taught in college in San Bernardino, California. And they were putting on an event where they were honoring him. I sang the song for him. And he was blown away because I do the antics. It's so fun. It's a part of the acting experience,
You get to be the snake.
Yeah, I could be the snake. And, in recording that with a Mr. Nolan Saheed, he played the trumpet, and he pretended to be the snake talking back to me. He did a marvelous job, I think.
He did. He did. I heard it. I heard the call and the response there.
Thank you. Yes, he did a great job.
And when I was playing on Sunday Morning Wizard on WZRD 88.3 FM, based out of Northeastern Illinois University, I played the original, and then I played yours.
Did you?
Together.
How wonderful.
It was really cool.
Oh, wonderful. Wow, I'm sorry I missed that. Shoot, darn it. That's wonderful. Well, thank you. I'm so grateful for all of the support you and the station have given me. I'm kind of like new. I'm a baby, kind of. I mean, I know that I've been doing it a long time, but in terms of Dreams Realized, that was the very first CD that was played on the radio. The other one, the first one, Building Dreams, I had no idea what radio promotion was about. I was kind of like handing them out to friends, selling them basically out of my trunk. So I didn't really know anything about it. And so when Dreams Realized came along, I was provided the information about, radio promotion, and it got to you. So I'm really, I didn't really plan any of this. Everybody, I don't even know how to.
Well, things happen. Good things happen.
Yes, yes.
And that's why we're here.
Well, I'm so honored. Thank you so very much.
Is there another song on the Dreams Realized that you wrote?
No, actually, just one. I was told that if you put too many originals on, it confuses people. So I decide that I will only do like one original per CD, so that people can get to know me. They seem to be able to gravitate to songs that they recognize more so.
Right. And Trudy and I have shows on WLUW 88.7 FM, broadcasting from Loyola University Water Tower campus. And one of the songs I play at the end is If I Never Sing Another Song.
Oh, I love that.
It's a great show ender. It's a powerful show ender.
It is indeed. I drug my daughter at that time to Hollywood Bowl one time. She was about 8 years old, and I love Shirley Bassey. And she was singing, and she sang that song. I fell in love with that song. I fell in love, and I just had to do it because it relates to my life too. If I never sing another song, I say it wouldn't bother me, but that's not quite true. But I know that I will have lived the life that I wanted to have the opportunity to sing, for people to have had the opportunity to hear me. And if I don't sing anymore, I will have realized that dream. It really makes a lot of sense to me.
And you would get by somehow.
I would definitely get by somehow. I have, I just know. How I know, I don't know. I just know.
Does it also kind of go into, like I've noticed in your personal life, I've seen a lot of different things happening through messages. Does that relate to your personal life as well?
It does, very much so. The universe, I believe I have a purpose here on this earth. I don't believe that it's all about the ego, about me singing and me getting accolades for my singing. I think it also has to do with a purpose of enlightening people, giving people hope, even when things are bad. I can't begin to express to you or articulate just how important it is for me to provide a message, as it were, for people to always strive to live through hardships and come out on the other end. You got to have a dream. It starts with a dream, starts with a hope. You've got to have some, and I just find it in these days and times, we really need to have that message embedded into our hearts and our spirits.
You mentioned that you had a coach, a vocal coach, Phil Moore,
Yes.
who taught you to write a backstory for every song that you're learning to perform.
Yes.
Is that the Phil Moore with Marilyn Monroe
Yes.
and Dorothy Dandridge?
It is. It is indeed.
Wow. How'd you
Yes.
meet him?
In the 80s, there was this workshop that I had heard about. Singers were gravitating to this workshop. Diane Reeves was also one of the students of that workshop. And when we went there, he told us the story that he also coached Dorothy Dandridge and Marilyn Monroe. He was the very first black orchestra director at Universal Studios in the 40s. And so the lessons that he taught us, take a song, write it down lyric by lyric, find out who you're singing to, what month was it or what season was it? Were you in the kitchen? Were you smelling, aromas? And you'd have to write the song 5 times with all of those backstory notations with them. And he'd hand them in for your class so he would make sure that you had done your homework. And it works. I apply that same method to my singing today. I make sure that each song has a backstory, and I cannot memorize a song without writing it down and going over it and finding out in my mind and my spirit, well, I think I'm singing this to an old boyfriend. Like, for instance, the song Hello by Lionel Richie. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I sing this to an old boyfriend who dated me off and on for 16 years.
Okay.
I said, well, is it me you're looking for? But, okay, and so I'm sorry, I digress. But that's
Well, that's
how
an
I treat
example of how it works.
That's an example of how it works, yes.
And you mentioned earlier that you try to apply inspiration to whatever you're doing. And then when
Yes.
you write those backstories, do you also apply inspiration as a factor to those backstories for those songs?
Yes, I do. And I think I shared with you also that every now and then there's a young person who will come up to me who's also has an aspiration to sing. And they come and compliment me. And if I see that they are serious, because there are people who come and say, well, can you coach me to sing? If they're not serious, I'm not there to just take their money. That's not what I'm about. If you're serious and you really want to learn something, I will share the things that Mr. Moore taught me. I don't charge them anything. And I can see, and I'm just so hoping that what I share with them is something that they can hold on to in their lives as well to enhance. It's all about elevation. We want to continue to elevate. I want to inspire young people. Even at my place in my career right now, I'm taking vocal lessons. It doesn't hurt to elevate. I want to fine tune my instrument to always improve. Yes.
When you were starting out, did you approach anybody besides Phil Moore? Who was like the first person that you approached for advice? As right now, as if young people would approach you, did you approach anybody?
I honestly did not. Opportunities came to me like they were just dropping down from the sky. At one point, I was in a relationship, and that relationship introduced me to a sound engineer at Motown Records. And of course, Motown Records, that engineer worked in the studio with Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye at that time was courting. He hadn't married her yet, but her name was Jan. She was a receptionist at Motown. And they came to our house and had dinner. And from that relationship with Marvin Gaye, we would be in the studio with him. And what's going on, where he had this crowd in the background. Well, me and my partner at that time, we were one of the voices in the background. Marvin Gaye introduced me to Hal Davis, producer Hal Davis. And he hired me to sing demos that were presented to already signed singers like Diana Ross. I was not given a contract to sing, but I was given the job to sing these lead parts that they would introduce to a signed artist to see if they wanted to sing the song. And just being in that environment. I love being in the recording studio. Ooh, when I'm in the studio, I get the chills. It's ooh. Do you get the feeling?
I do. And the way it goes is this happens a lot. Like Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
They get songs.
Yes.
Or they're the songwriter, and another artist records the song.
Exactly. So that's how that worked. And just being in that environment, it inspired me. I don't know if I actually said, I've got to be a singer. I just kind of like went with the flow. And this is where I have arrived. It's a dream that has materialized. And I'm forever grateful and filled with gratitude.
You worked at a bank for 20 years, but then you decided, oh, I want to retire early and then actually go deep into singing.
You know too much about me, Trudy. Trudy, yes. For 20 years, I worked as an executive assistant in the public relations department at a bank in California. And I was singing on the side every now and then. But then it got to the point where it was difficult getting up early in the morning, going to work. And I lived over an hour and a half away. I have to catch a train into Los Angeles to go to work. I worked with the nicest people. I had the nicest boss. But sometimes I would be a little late getting to work. And I said, you know what, Rose? You know what you really want to do. You really want to sing. I think it's time for you to give notice. So I gave them a year's notice. Because I was waiting till I became 60 years old. I wanted this milestone to happen first. And so I gave them a year's notice. And from then on, I've been singing regularly in Palm Springs.
And touring.
And touring, yes. In fact, going to be here. We took the show. By the way, I do a one-woman show about Sarah Vaughan, my favorite singer, where I actually portray her. I put on the wig. I become first person. I tell about my career. I'm speaking first person. Did you notice that? I speak in first person. I tell about how my career began and what I did as a child. And so I'm doing that show, and we took it to New York. The first time, got great reviews. Then we took it to Wyoming, of all places, got great reviews. We're going to do it in Chicago. Great. We're hoping that it turns out great. And then we're going to take it next time. I'm going to take it to Los Angeles. And I think I've gotten all the kinks out. And the show has won 4 awards. So we're doing okay.
All right.
Yeah, doing okay.
So your onstage persona, you're her.
I am her. It's not Rose anymore. You won't recognize me with my white hair because I got on a wig and her evening gown, and I become Sarah. Mm-hmm. Yes, and the title of the show is Songs of Sarah. And she was quite a brave young lady. At age 15, she started sneaking out of the house, going to nightclubs that played jazz. And she started getting a lot of musician friends. Eventually, they had her on stage to sing and play the piano. And from that, she went to amateur night at the Apollo. She won. They allowed her to be the opening act for Ella Fitzgerald. And that's how her career began. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
At 15. What were you doing at 15?
Early start there.
Yeah, wow. Did your coworkers at the bank know that you were also a singer?
Yes. In fact, my big boss, he would hire me to sing on public radio advertisements for the bank.
Oh.
Well, that works.
Yeah,
that fits.
That fits. And so, yes.
Did you write the advertisement?
No. I did not. And it would already be a prescribed script. And then I sang America the Beautiful on public radio in San Diego, actually. Yeah, so it all worked out.
Do you remember your first song that became very popular, that really hit it off with an audience, that was very successful at whatever venue you were at?
Me? I think Summertime is the most requested. Summertime. And one of the one of the suggestions from my old teacher, Mr. Fillmore, about the time and all of that, how you present a song with a backstory. I always start off telling people about how I was born in Chicago in the summertime. So that's always the perfect lead in for that song.
That kind of reminds me of the training you were talking about.
Exactly. That's what I use. I always use those many years ago. I never stray from those lessons. They're very helpful. And have you ever been to see a singer who just simply stands there, song after song after song, and there's no personality? Well, thank you, Mr. Moore, wherever you are.
All right.
Well, Rose Mallett, if our viewers want to learn more about you, where should they go?
They should go directly to my website, which is rosemallett.com, and I'll spell the Mallett for you. It's Rose, MALLETT.com.
And all the events, your calendar is on the website as well.
It is, yes.
This is Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. I am Trudy Leong, Administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Rose Mallett, and thank you for watching Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. We will see you again next week.